This is a good question from Kevin. He's asking about the bids. Okay, so it says in my videos, I tend to keep the bids the same price. I do, especially at the start. So at the start, I might load a campaign, 10 keywords, 100 keywords, 1,000 keywords. I might have a budget of $10 a day, $5 a day. And I set everything to have exactly the same bid price, possibly $1, possibly $2. Because at that stage, I'm counting for impressions. And I think that's what the first part of his question. One, if I'm testing for impressions, but each keyword has a different first page bid price, would you then change each keyword CPC bid to be different within the campaign? No, I would set it all the same, because in a week's time or 2 weeks or whatever, however long I want to run the test to get the data, I want to look at it and go, right, each of those keywords has X number of impressions. Each keyword has a different number of impressions. And I want to know how often it's in top ad position, how often it's above the organic results, and what my cost per click is, and all the rest of it. And I want to look at all of them, all the keywords, and know that the bid price was identical for all of them, and where I'm potentially going to get my volume of impressions and clicks and possibly conversions, where I'm going to get them from, which keywords at that particular price. So I have everything set the same, and some's going to have more volume than others at the bid price, at the same bid price. If some of them are saying you're below first page bid, then first off, it's not an error. So it's not an error. It's just a warning. Does that affect the amount of impressions you'd get overall? The fact that you get a warning doesn't affect the amount of impressions you get. The fact that you are below first page bid means you're probably not going to get as many impressions as if you increased your bid price. It's just telling you that you should really increase your bid price if you want to be on the first page. But it actually doesn't mean you're not going to get any impressions on the first page. So I pay attention to those warnings, but at the beginning I just bid, I look at those, and I just let the data come through, because I've had it where I've got warnings of low search volume warning for keywords that I've loaded up, and they still get loads of search volume. You get loads of impressions and clicks. Or it could say below first page bid estimate. But that's when you just loaded it up. Maybe over time Google sees that your click-through rate is better than your competitors, and in which case they'll show you above, maybe in position 1 or whatever. Probably not in position 1 if you're getting that warning, but that warning may disappear if Google figures out they've got a better click-through rate and that they can make more money off you. So I don't worry too much. I do look at those warnings as they appear, and that's why I bid at the keyword level. I don't worry too much about them. And at the beginning, especially when I'm loading up and trying to get data, I want the data. I want to be able to report to the client, or to know myself, that when we're running at a $2 bid price, this keyword gets all the volume and that one gets much less. And maybe the impression share is less for one than the other, and it's in a lower ad position, but there's a load of volume potentially there. If you divide impressions by impression share, it gives you a number of estimated searches, kind of roughly. And then we could say, well, for $2, we're not bidding enough to get much volume for that particular keyword, but there's a lot of potential there. Whereas the other one over there at $2 is getting us a good impression share. We're in a good high ad position. That could be where we get our volume for that bid price.